Okay guys, I will be explaining about our implementation in our project. Firstly, we will start with the first function, which is the queue. Initially, the front, rear, and bill will be started by this value as initial value. And then we have the second function, which is the enqueue part. We will be inputting the nama pelanggan, nombor PC, masa masuk, and tempo. First, it will be checking this statement if the number in this array, if it is bigger or equal to size. If it is not full, it will be entering and conducting the enqueue part. Firstly, it will be incrementing the rear by 1 and checking if the rear is equal to size. If it is, the rear it will be overwritten to 0. And the second one is if number of array is equal to 0, which means there is no data in this array, the front will be overwritten to 0. And then it will be inputting the number pelanggan into the customer name array and nombor PC into the PC number array and masa masuk into the time in array and tempo into the duration array. The next thing is declaring the masa keluar, and then it will be calculating the masa keluar by adding time in and duration time 100 and plus with time in. If the time in 24 hours are more than 2400, which means 24 hours, the masa keluar will be calculated by subtracting for the whole day, which means 24 hours. If it is less than 24 hours, it will be implementing the input masa keluar into timeout array. And then for the harga will be calculated based on the price, which means 2 ringgit per duration, 2 ringgit and times by duration. And then the harga will be inputted into the price array. After that, the number of array will be incremented by 1. Okay, if it is full and this statement else will be conducted and overflow will be shown and you no longer able to enqueue any more data. This will prevent user from inputting any new item because it will be blocked by this command. Okay, let's move to the next function. The next function, which is remove, will be implemented by checking if the number of array is equal to 0, which means empty, the underflow will be displayed. And then the front, rear, and number of element is array will be overridden with this value. If it is not underflow, then this command will be conducted. If the array are not empty, this message delete will be shown and with the current item that it want to remove. And then the front will be incremented by 1. If the front equal to size, which is limit, the front will be overwritten to 0. If the number of elements in array are equal to 1, the rear and front will be overwritten to -1, which means that there's only one item in the array. And then the number of elements in the array will be decremented by 1. That is the end of the remove function. The remove function will remove the last entry that user input. The third function, we have an empty function, which will feedback that currently if the array is empty or not. If it is empty, it will be returning the number of element in array is currently 0, which means it's empty. And then we have queueFront function, which will be finding the front of the queue. First, it will check if the array is currently empty. If it is not empty, it will return the front of the queue to the main function. And then we have a queueRare, which will find the rare of the queue. First, it will check if the array is currently empty. If it is not empty, it will proceed by returning the current rare in the customer name.
Alright, for the next part, in the implementation part, I'm going to explain more about the display part. So display part, we have two part, which is display and display horizontal. For the display, part, we are going to display every time we put the data into the array. So for example, after we fill all the in data that is requested, such as customer name, PC number, time in, time out, duration, it will display the data that we just input just now. The data will be displayed in the horizontal line once we finish fill all the data. Below this, there are conditions. If we choose to enter data but the array is at its maximum, we can't enter any more data. So it will display the warning message, which is warning array is full. You can no longer can enqueue more items. So it will block us from enter any more data if we reach the maximum of data entry of that array. For the next part, display horizontal. Display horizontal is the function that is activates when we choose the number 3 at the main menu, which is display all the data that we have in the array. For example, if we have 3 customer and then all the detail about them, if we press 3 at the main menu, this part will be activated and it will display all the data of them, such as customer name, PC number, time in, duration, time out, and the price of their usage. It will display like in the table horizontally. After below this, there are the selection condition. For example, at the main menu, if there is not yet data entry, but we press 3 to display the data in the array, it will display the message sorry no entry yet because we doesn't enter any data yet, but we want to display. This doesn't seem right? So after the warning message display that no entry yet, we will get the choice whether we want to go to main menu back or not. If we choose yes, we are going to the main menu back. Below the display code, there is condition for the selection. For this part, if we choose the 3 at the main menu, which is to display the data in the array, but we haven't yet input any data, it will display the warning message which is sorry, no entry yet. After that, it will give us the choice whether we want to go to the main menu back or not. If we choose yes, we are going to the main menu back. However, if we choose other than that, it will say invalid value input and try again. And it will loop back to the message, do you want to go to main menu back? Okay. That's for the display horizontal part. And after that, we have the simple sort function. In this part, we are going to rearrange the data of the user, but we only in this simple sort we only touch the customer name. We are going to arrange the customer name according to their alphabets, which is A to Z, to make it more comfortable and more neat. So, for example, if we have Allam and Rafi, but Rafi is entered before Allam, when we choose the sort, it will sort Allam above the Rafi name, and others data after that will be follow the names. So it will become more arranged and look more neat. So that's all for the implementation part and all the function that we have in this part, which we use for our project. Thank you very much. I'm going to explain about the interface part, which is cc.h part. Okay, at first, we are going to create an array, which is in this case is integer size, and we set it to the size that we want, which is 5 in our case. After that, we create a class named q, and inside that, they are public and private. At public part, we create all the function that we are going to use in this project, such as function of enqueue, remove, display horizontal, simple sort, queue front, queue rear, and empty. For the private part, we define and declare all the variables that will be used in this program. For example, we have PC number, time in and time out, duration, price, bill, front, and rear for the queue part. Okay, that's all for the interface part. Thank you.
Today I'm going to share about the main part of the system, which is our system is cyber cafe management system. So this program is a cyber cafe management system. This program will be operate when a user wanted to use a PC. A message will be prompted and it will ask the user to insert the data needed. Such as our cyber cafe management, we will ask user to input name, PC number, the time in, and the duration that they want to use the computer. So when a PC is not used anymore, the system can delete the data from the array. Okay. Next, it will have an option to sort all the PC in use in alphabetical order according to the user's name. Next is the program also have an option to display all the data of PC use is in use. So basically, this process will show all the PC that user have ordered or have opened when we ask the user to input their name before. Okay. Lastly, when the system is no longer used, it have an option to exit from the system. Okay, so this is the main part. For the first part is declaration of the object. Declare and certain variable, which is int, PC number, duration, float time in, char confirmation, and option 1. Okay, this part is to declare the variable used in the program. Next, we have the out. For this part, after finish any process for each case, which is from our menu, we have 5 case right here. First is process entry, delete latest record, display all customer record, sort entry based on name, and exit. So for our system have five case, which after finish any process for each case will be sent back to out, which is our main menu. So this is switch. So the process will be processed according to the option 1, which is user will enter option 1 in our menu. Message will be prompted to the user to remind them that they have to input some value, which is enter the choice. For the first case, which is case 0, enable user to exit from the program. When user enter 0, a message will be prompted to the user for a confirmation. Are you sure you want to exit? And then user must put Y or N, which is Y shows that yes and N is no as a confirmation. Next part is case 1. For case 1 is process for user to use a PC. Our cyber cafe system, when the user want to order or open some PC that they want to use, number 1 should be input at the main menu. So there is certain message will be prompted that the user should be input, which is the first part is name, second part is input PC number, the third part is the time in, and then the duration. After the name, PC number, the time in, and duration have inputted by user, a function my q and q will be called to input them in a one array, and then they will display the complete, they will display the array that have been inserted to the array. The next case, if user put number 2, is a process to delete the data of PC used in the list, which is the last data in the array. And then we will use myQ remove to remove the data of the PC in last PC in the list. So next part is case 3. Case 3 is the process to show the list of PC used order from the user, which is we will display all the PC that have been inserted to the array, and then we will display back according to the this label, which is first label is number, customer name, PC number, time in duration, time out, and price. Next case is case 4, is the process to sorting the list of PC used or ordered with alphabetical order. So for this part, when the username have been inserted to the array, if user input number 4, it will sort the name list or the list of array according to the alphabetical order. We will call the simple sort function. And then lastly is default. If the user insert the wrong data value, the system will prompt a message, you have entered invalid input, please retry. And then go back to the menu, go to out. So that's all for the main part of our system. Thank you. So now I will demo to you guys how to use our cyber cafe management system. So when you open our system, it will come to the main menu. You can see welcome to Chikaro Cyber Cafe. So this is the main menu. So in the main menu, user will be provided with 5 options, which is process entry, delete latest record, display all customer record, sort entry based on name, and the last one is exit. So we can see here we have 5 options for the user. And then okay, we will try for the first one to insert some data to the data array. Okay, customer. So a message will be prompted for the user to remind them to input some data. So I will put some data, Badrul, PC 1 until 20. So let's say Badrul want to use PC number 12, and the time in maybe 12:35. Maybe Badrul want to use the computer for 2 hours, so we input 2 hours in hours. So we can see here the current data in array. So this means the data is successfully inserted to the array. Okay, so we will try to add some more data. So if we put the wrong entry or the wrong input, invalid message will be prompted to the user to remind them that please enter the correct input. Okay, we can only use 1 until 20 value. So let's say we put 15. Okay, so after we finish to input all the data, we can display all the customer record according to the input that we just insert just now. Okay, so we can see all the customer record, or all the customer, or the list of the customer that use the PC in our cyber cafe. So we can do that by input display all customer records, which is number 3. So we enter the choice, we choose 3. So this is the record list of the user using our cyber cafe. So let's go back to the main menu. So next, as we can see, the data is not the correct arrangement, which is Badrul should be number 2, Allam should be the first one, and Rafi should be the last one. And then we can sort all the name lists by input number 4, which is sort entry based on name. So let's try it. Input number 4, and then we display. So we can see the data is now arranged in correct arrangement, which is Allam number 1, Badrul number 2, and Rafi the last one. Okay, the user have not used anymore the PC, so we can delete the latest record, which is by using input number 2. Okay, option number 2, we entered, and then you can see it delete Rafi. Okay, it delete Rafi. So we can display back all the customer record. As you can see, we have delete Rafiedata. So as you can see, our system have delete Rafiedata. Okay, have delete Rafiedata. Let's go back to the main menu. And lastly, the exit option. So when the user enter 0 input, a confirmation message will be apa lagi? Tak apa, tak ingat. A confirmation message will be prompted to the user. Are you sure you want to exit? So the user should be input Y or N. So if you want to exit from the system, so we will input Y. Okay, that's all for our demonstration of our cyber cafe system management. Thank you. Okay, that's all from us for this video. We hope our content would be benefit for you in future. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.